Hello everyone, welcome to the Unparsed conference. I'm here with Roberto, who is the software team lead at Admiral. And can I ask, Roberto, how's it been so far at Unparsed?
Brilliant, actually. I mean, I had high expectations. You know, it's a real list of guests. It's sort of a bit of a who's who in the industry and stuff. But yeah, I can honestly say it's not disappointed. It's been great to sort of see, you know, some of the big names. But, you know, I think so many of these conferences, and I've been lucky, I've been to a few this year. There's a lot of filler. There's a lot of, you know, people kind of just hawking things. And really, that's not been the case here. So yeah, excellent.
Lovely to hear, lovely to hear. And so, what has been the single term that you've heard repeated over and over again in the past 2 days?
Are you perhaps wondering if LLMs has come up a lot?
I was perhaps wondering if that was it.
That's been pretty big. I think yesterday there was barely a talk where it wasn't mentioned, and it's not dropped off that much this week. So yeah, whether it's ChatGPT by name or LLMs in general, it's the biggest thing in tech. You know, in the whole of tech this year. So of course it's going to come up in something that's as closely related as this, yeah.
And what does it conjure up in your mind when you hear those words? Is it fear? Is it excitement? Is it like curiosity?
I'd probably say, I mean, a little bit of all three. That's probably a diplomatic answer, isn't it? For me, I'm generally quite excited about, I've always been interested in AI stuff, and I've always been in things like conversational AI, so I think the excitement is probably the number one. There is a lot of caution, and there is a lot of, I guess the curiosity for me would be more like, okay, but what can you actually use it for? And that's what places like this conference are good for.
Yeah, that's the aim. That's what we hope. And so, can you give some insights into concrete use cases you're seeing for this, where you think it could be useful?
Yeah. I mean, it's not something we're personally using at the moment, but we've been talking about it a lot. So yeah, absolutely. I think in general, I think something like LLMs. There's so many use cases, but I think, you know, generally there's kind of 4 buckets you can put them in. There's content generation, there's kind of summarisation and other kind of language processing, transformation things. There's I don't know what you call it really, perhaps kind of semantic search, that kind of thing where you're, you know, with ChatGPT, you're asking it a question, it gives you an answer. Yeah. And then the other one is kind of productivity enhancements, the kind of things that Microsoft use the Copilot brand for, that kind of stuff. I think all of them potentially apply to varying degrees for people who are in conversational AI. I think for me, sort of personally, the lowest hanging fruit and the one I'm most sort of focused on at the moment is those kind of productivity things.
Yeah, okay.
So, you know, the thing we eventually build is just the same, but we can just do it so much quicker because we've got tools that do a lot of the work, whether that be generating the intent models, the intent-based agents we're using, or it's code, whatever it is. I think it's just a very potentially very powerful set of tools, and so that's a good one. I think in contact centers as well, I think some of the others are useful. Summarization. I don't know if you're aware, but you know, in the kind of things we're building, we have a virtual agent talking to a customer. There's a handover, there's a handoff to an agent. How do you kind of summarize what that call was? You know, we have ways of doing it, but it gives you more options. And then the other really common thing is at the end of a call, you know, agents have to, again, they kind of effectively hand over by storing in they record what the point of the call was, so that the next person that takes that can, you know, do. That's a great use case for an LLM. You know, That's the kind of thing they can do really well. So yeah, I'd really like to see some progress on that soon.
Excellent. That sounds like some really concrete use cases. So it's great to hear. Yeah, thanks, Roberto, and enjoy the rest of the conference. It's almost over, so I hope I'm not holding you here if you're excited to see another talk.
No, absolutely not. No, great. Okay, cool. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thanks.